Welcome to the first episode of Turning Silver into Gold, the podcast where we interview successful people on how they became successful, how they took nothing and made it something, how they're turning silver into gold. I'm your host, Trevor Silver. On this episode, I sit down with my homeboy and East Coast hip-hop legend, Quake Matthews. We talk about his upbringing, what inspired him to pursue a career in music, and how he overcame the loss of a loved one. What's going on? It's your host here, Trevor Silver, with the Turning Silver into Gold podcast. We got my good friend Quake here, and we're going to talk about his journey on how he became a successful rap artist. So, yeah, maybe just start off.
Yeah. No, I feel like that was a hell of an intro. I feel like I'm still on the silver level, though. I'm still trying to get to the gold. But I think success is all what you deem it to be anyway. So it's all subjective. But good to be here, man.
100%. I don't think that you're still silver. You're 100% golden right to me.
Okay.
So let's talk about your early years. So like let the audience understand who you are, where you come from, what's the early years like for you?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in a neighborhood called Fairview, and in my early years, super young, I used to go to a babysitter's on my street, and she had two older boys. One was like 5 years older than me, one was 7 years older than me, and you know, before school, I would hang with them and try to be like them and dress like them and do what they were doing, and they just so happened to be huge hip-hop fans, so they had all these CDs and tapes and this extensive collection, and the only music I heard at this point, 5 years old, is what your parents are listening to. So classic rock or whatever my parents are listening to. So I just remember first hearing rap music and them pushing play on albums like Doggy Style by Snoop or the Friday soundtrack. And I remember me just being like, yo, what is this? Like, this is not my parents' music. And ever since then, I was just drawn in and became obsessed with hip hop music, man. And I haven't really looked back since. So it's been not just part of my life, my entire life since really that point on.
Wow. So you were how old at that time?
5 years old, man.
And the first songs that you remember were like Doggy Style?
Doggy Style, yeah. I remember I was like, damn, you're allowed to swear on a song? Like, I had no idea. And this was back when nobody had phones and you couldn't really look up the lyrics like that. So I used to listen to the thing and write the lyrics down with a pen and paper just so I could, hear what they're saying. And I remember one time my mom found the lyrics that I wrote down to Exhibit song, Alcoholic, and she flipped.
Oh,
she lost her shit. She was like, what are you writing down? It was bad.
You got in trouble.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. So your parents didn't listen to no rap at all?
No, they were more classic rock. Like my dad listened to like Bruce Springsteen and Rod Stewart and shit like that.
Dope. Yeah, I remember my dad used to listen to a lot of different R&B stuff growing up, like Keith Sweat and all that, but like DMX was probably the first recollection that I can remember, like you were saying, like with cursing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing was I was able to rap the songs in the car with him, but then if he catch me outside somewhere singing the curse words, in trouble.
You're in trouble, but if you're with him, you're allowed.
Like it's kind of cool. Like the fun thing where like, when your adults will tell the kid to curse or something. It's fun. It's funny because it's like, oh, you're rapping and you're
you
cursing.
You got permission this time.
Yeah. So you were 5, and then when was the first time you kind of got an inclination of like, okay, you fell in love with rap at 5, but then what was the spark or the thing that made you think like, oh, I could rap or I could be a rapper?
Yeah. So, I would always toy around with it, but I didn't really know, too much about it or how I would go about recording. But my mom ended up getting me a karaoke machine one year for Christmas, and you could have the instrumental on one side and then tape your voice and with the instrumental on the other side. Okay. So I would, mess around with freestyling. And then I always give credit to a friend of mine from the North End, Mike O'Malley. He kind of pushed me to try freestyling more and kind of showed me what it was. And he showed me how to get the instrumentals downloaded because like I didn't even know what an instrumental was. So he taught me what that word meant, instrumental.
Was this at the same time of having the karaoke machine?
Yeah, around the same time. So yeah, he kind of opened my mind to that. Then I would, get the instrumentals and then I would try to, record and freestyle or whatever. And then that turned into eventually battling, because battling is, so freestyle battling at junior high parties, high school parties.
That's when I would have first had met you or known of you, because you probably didn't know me when you were rapping back when you were younger, but we knew you, like I knew you in community, seeing you doing the battle rap.
Yeah, I used to battle everywhere. Every party I went to, everyone had a friend they thought could play with me, and they couldn't. Are we allowed to swear?
We can curse.
Yeah. So everywhere I went, man, or even just outside in front of the store in Fairview, some of the older people I remember thought they were better than me, and I taught them.
So you were freestyle too. You could freestyle too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back when I started battling, I think the number one thing that put me on in this city was probably when I was 15 years old, and Trobiz, who owns Fade Masters. Yeah. He was hosting a freestyle battle event, and it wasn't like the battles you see now. It's you don't know who you're going to face. So it's pretty much your name is in a hat. They pick two names out. Then you're on stage. You don't know what beat it's going to be because it's to a beat, and you have a mic. So it's different. So you just hear the beat, and you got to start attacking your opponent. And if you win, you move on to the next thing and so forth, So I ended up battling a lot of people this one night. It was at the Marquee on Gottingen. I was 15 years old, wasn't even allowed in the club. I used to have to get my parents to sign a form from the Nova Scotia Liquor Commission to be allowed in, special permission to get into a club underage. And I remember just going there, and when I signed up, I remember everyone was laughing at me. And
they're like,
you're in the battle, and I was nervous or whatever. And then, it came to the battle, and I just started going through people. And then I ended up in the finals versus who at the time was the name I heard is like, this is the guy in the city. And that was Littles the General, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Littles.
So I ended up going toe-to-toe with Littles in the finals, and I ended up winning. It was like $500 cash. And I remember just having the money. Like I never had that much money in my life,
Young prodigy.
And I remember just like going to school the next day and telling people and being like, look, I won. And I think that was the moment where a lot of people were like, okay, this guy's somebody, or this guy's somebody we have to watch for. And that's what led to even Littles taking me under his wing and teaching me a lot of stuff and putting me on and
that's what
throwing me in different rap battles with other people from Toronto and and
like sharpening the tool.
So he was the one, really, Littles, to even, I think, put my name on a Canadian level to where people like Boy Wonder or Drake or Bishop Brigante or these people would know who I was.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's interesting because some of the audience might not know that. Like Drake knows you and he gives you your props and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's a good dude, man. Fuck, it's been, shit, how long has it been since we did that whole little like battle, I guess you could call it, where it was our crew versus his. That was like 2006, 7.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like with the rap scene and the competitiveness of battle rap and how you beat Littles, but then he still took you under his wing and put you on and put you in position to win.
Yeah, that was a real move, and I think it spoke to his character because he saw the bigger picture. He always did.
Yeah.
And I just knowing myself and my competitive nature, when someone beat me or if someone beats me, that's probably not gonna be my first thought. I mean, maybe now.
For sure.
But back then, like, I'm a sore loser. So it's
100%.
Like,
that comes from growth and maturity.
For him to do that, you could see that he saw the bigger picture, man. And he was a real one. And he's the one who gave me a lot of my confidence and like believed in me before I was sure of myself. And, told me like, Quake, you're the best artist in this city. Like, act like it when I would be shy or timid or hesitant. And
so he filled your cup up.
Yeah, I'll never forget him for that, man. Real one, man.
For sure. Would that be considered one of the first people that you were close with that you lost maybe in?
Yeah. I would say, man, on this musical journey, I would say, yeah, that was. Actually, Short Shane, who I was close with, passed before Littles. That was a tough one too. Car accident. He was around for a lot of the younger years. I really looked up to him as well. But yeah, man, we lost some real ones in this city, as everyone knows.
For sure. We'll get into more of that later on. So back to the Marquee. What were your parents thinking? Like, what were your mom and dad thinking in those times when they had to sign the form for the liquor commission?
I don't know if they knew what was going on. Like, my mom was always supportive, and my dad is my dad's a social butterfly. Like he's
Mhm, mhm.
cool. He enjoys going out and mingling and partying. And so I think he enjoyed it. I just remember after the event, him picking me, because there's no cell phone. Like I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
text him like,
yeah.
yo, I won. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, come to the marquee to pick me up. Like I'll call you off a
The landline.
payphone or a landline, and or maybe it was just like meet me down there at 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
a school night,
Fuck.
and I just remember that he met me down there, and I remember this big like bodyguard, whoever was the security, was like escorting me in. And I remember I slid the door open to our like old ass minivan, and I got in. I remember I just showed him the $500. He's like, "You won?" I was like, "Yeah, man." And then yeah.
That must have been a proud moment for you to like show to your parents like this stuff that's not conventional. Like we can win at it, or I can win at it. It
Yeah,
can work
yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah, man. I always, I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, man, but it's like whenever I put my mind to something, I always manifested things or spoke it into existence. Like I would always have the attitude like I'm gonna win.
Mhm,
Like I remember there was this one story. It was in grade 4, and I was in the cross country race, and it was against the whole entire city or whatever it was. And I remember telling my dad like, I'm gonna win. Like I think I'm gonna win. And he's like, man, just like do your best, just like finish the
Do your
race. You
best,
know what
son.
I mean? And then I ended up like winning by like 2 minutes or something crazy. And I just remember the look on his face, like, I don't know, man. There was no better feeling than that moment of like shocking your parent. Like this guy is crazy. Like
yeah, yeah.
he really means what he's
What he
saying.
says.
And whenever you could do that, it's a beautiful feeling, man.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. So we're diving into your story. You're 15. You won the rap battle. Little took you under his wing. And then next, what's like the next thing that you felt like was the evolution of Quake?
The next thing was probably, well, I did a few mixtapes, but I would say the next notable thing I did, which was kind of based off of 50 Cent's Had a Rob record. If you guys know, that record is where 50 came in and he dissed everybody who was popping in the industry. And the way that came about, I think I was maybe 16, 17, and I got kicked out of art class, and I was pissed. And I was sitting in the hall, and I was had that attitude like fuck everybody.
Yeah.
So I was just like thinking about it. I was like, yeah, fuck everybody. So I was like, I'm gonna take this out on every Canadian rapper who's popping. And then I did this song called Quake versus Canada, where I just kind of went at everyone.
Mhm,
Drake,
mhm.
Belly, Cardinal, I think, Bishop Bergante, rest in peace.
Oh, damn.
A lot of people who I consider.
Is that song still floating around? Is it like
I
on
think you can
YouTube?
find it maybe
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Quake versus Canada.
Quake
Christ, that's a
versus
crazy
Canada.
song.
And then that was another moment of people being like, who the fuck is this?
Mhm.
So that was definitely a pivotal moment. And then
So this must have been like grade 10-ish.
yeah, I think it was junior high.
Junior high, grade 9-ish?
Was it? Maybe was I 16? It was either 9 or 10, maybe.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, after that, man, I just started working on my own music, and then I joined a group called Fax 4 around at 16.
Like Halifax 4 or
17,
something?
yeah, we were called the Fax 4. We had our crew, but I was
Okay.
still messing with Littles and them
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything. I was doing both. And then, yeah, man, in 2010, that was the first album. And then I've been a solo artist ever
So
since.
you guys did an album with the Fax 4?
Yeah, we did that
Who's
in
the
like
people on there? Who were the people?
it was Spesh K, Market, and Boyle. Do you know Matt Boyle? He owns Dear Friend. He's a basketball referee.
Yeah.
He was in it. So, and then my boy Market and Spesh K.
That's tough. That's tough. So was that post like the freestyle battling on all that? Because I remember like the battles with Greedy and all them guys and with Pat and them guys.
Yeah.
was
so
that
so
after
this would
that?
have been after my battle with Littles, but before the Elements League
Okay,
with Pat
okay. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and Greedy and all that.
Okay,
Yeah.
dope. So then you're getting out of high school. Is there anything else within the high school career that like was the spark or the Fax 4? Like what broke the Fax 4 up? Like I'm going to do my solo career.
Yeah, I think everyone just kind of moved on. We did one project. That was how I really kind of got to know Classified, because we recorded that album at his spot.
Okay, dope.
So that was like the introduction to him. And I remember hearing his music, and then just getting to see what it was like, him recording.
Was that when he was big time already?
Yeah, he was doing his thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. He was definitely big. I was a huge fan. So just, hearing that voice in real life and watching him work was kind of
And he just
crazy.
opened up his door to you guys? How did that
I
happen?
mean, he
How
used to
did that
just
come about?
charge like studio time.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was like $20 an hour back then or
Dope.
something cheap as hell. And then, yeah, I started messing with him, buying some beats, and eventually led to just me trying to work on a solo album. But I am missing, I didn't know if you wanted to touch on it, but I am missing when I was with Littles and the Offense and all them, there was that the feud with Drake's crew, the
Mhm.
Wise Guys, and that kind of gave me another level of like, okay,
yeah, bro, talk about
who
everything.
is this kid? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, this was obviously before Drake was Drake.
Yeah.
He was just an artist from Toronto. We were artists from Halifax and Toronto, and
Because what we want to do, we want to paint the picture of like you as an artist and how artistry works, like in terms of rapping. Like how does one become a rapper? Because like, I mean, we grew up in the same era, but there's not many people that are rappers right now from our era. They are rappers, but they're not rappers actively rapping, making music, creating music, dropping music. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, how do we illustrate to the younger people coming up on how do you actually execute and become who you are today?
I think that answers the question. You just said not a lot of people are doing it, and it's consistency.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistency. Your journey is never over until you decide it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to step back and not do it, then that's where it ends. But as long as you decide to show up every day, the possibilities are endless. And oftentimes, when you do show up every day, something could pop up that you're unaware of or that you weren't even expecting to happen that's really good for you. It could feel like the whole world is ending and your career is crashing down the night before. Then you wake up and, something crazy happens. Drake texts you or whatever, which has happened to me, and I just think it's showing up every day and being consistent and never giving up on it and not being attached to results or instant results, like, and looking at the big picture of like, this is what I do. This is my passion. All right. If this video doesn't get a lot of views, or even if this album flops, or even if last year wasn't my best streaming year, it's like, to me, I'm looking at the bigger picture. As Nipsey Hussle said, it's a marathon. And I think a lot of people are so attached to instant gratification and instant results to where if they don't see a payoff happening quick enough, then they give up. But I've sacrificed a lot for this. Like, I probably had house money, car money a bunch of times over, and I put it back into my music and lived at my mom's. I still live at my mom's. I'm over the high school shit of like what people care or whatever. I still don't own a car in my name, and I just spent car money on doing a play of what I'm trying to do. So these are just like the sacrifices I've made to keep this going.
Yeah, and I think what you're illustrating is you have to put it all on the line in order for it to work out, because like we said, there's not that many other folks doing it. You had to sacrifice so much in order to make it work, to get here, to be like, to forego the cars and the houses and the kids and whatever, you know what I mean, to make it to where you are today.
It's hard because when you're looking around at your friends and your friend's driving a nice car and just bought a home and got married and has kids and a family and all these things you want in your head, that you chose your path to where maybe that stuff isn't doable right at that moment. Sometimes you have doubts and you second guess, like, man, I'm an intelligent guy. Sometimes I used to wonder, like, shit, I probably could have had a big job and had the family and the nice home. And it's just like, but would I be happy, doing that? And that's what I got to remind myself, man. Like, this is my passion. This is what I'm meant to do. And I'm willing to put everything on the line and damn near kill myself for what I believe in and the overall journey,
So we'll get back to your story in a bit, but what you touched on a lot is like mindset. Like, how did you get your mind in a place where it's like, obviously, like, we're gonna have doubts because me and you talk all the time about, like, I'm doubting this. Like, what should I do? Whatever. How did your mindset become one of resilience and to what allowed you to continue to push forward? Is there any one thing?
No, I think it's over time when the hard times don't kill you and things get better.
Mm-hmm.
When that cycle repeats a certain number of times, you're not scared anymore when
Yeah.
times get hard.
I like that.
You know, when it used to be like, oh man, I want to quit, everything's over, it's not going good. I thought that feeling was final.
Mhm.
Like now that I've been through that cycle anymore, it doesn't hit me really anymore. Like I might have a day where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck this shit. And it's like, I'm just like, oh yeah, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Like I know that this feeling is temporary
Yeah.
and it's gonna correct itself. But I think there is no shortcut for that. I think it's just getting comfortable in the uncomfortable and realizing you've been here before, it didn't kill you,
Mhm.
and you're gonna be able to keep going.
So how important is it? Because we were talking about like friends doing other stuff, and you look at the trying to keep up with the Joneses doing other stuff. How important is non-conformity to what you're doing?
In the sense of what, like for an example,
'Cause-
like sacrificing what type of music you want to make or something, or
In terms of like, okay, you know what you're trying to do with your career and where you're trying to go, but if you look over at your friends or you look over at your peers or the community and what they're doing and what's normal to them, it might not be normal for you.
yeah,
So how do you stay in your own lane, so to say?
man, I think it's just that this was the choice I made, and I live with it, and like I said, you can look at all the good things they have, but sometimes you got to look at the good things that happen to you too. Like when I start feeling that way, I look back and be like, man, like I'm friends with some of my heroes now that I've looked up to
Yeah.
growing up. Like I've seen the world. I've toured Europe. I've been all through the States. There's things I did that a lot of people will never get to do in their life. And, to me, that's worth more than anything material.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that choice. And I have to remind myself of that even when I start comparing. And they say comparison is the thief of all joy. And I think it's true, man, because everybody's journey is different and everybody grows at their own time.
Yeah.
And just because someone's ahead of you now doesn't mean they're going to be ahead of you in the end. It's a forever
Yeah.
game. Like
And I like what you touched on because you kind of brought it back to gratitude.
Yep.
And like being grateful for what experience and what you have and where you're going.
Yeah.
Versus like looking over what other people may have and you might not have.
Yep.
But it's like, how important is gratitude to you?
Oh man, it's everything. Because if you're living life constantly wanting the next thing, like that's the only thing that brings you happiness, what does that sound like? That sounds like a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need another hit. I need another hit. I need
yeah.
another hit. I need another hit. And we all know what happens in that life for a drug addict.
Yeah.
Does that hit ever make them happy? No.
It's like
They-
chasing
they
their
collapse.
tail.
Yeah, you're chasing your tail. So I think when you step back and approach things from a lens of gratitude, that is sustainable.
Mhm, mhm.
That's not just chasing another hit. That's being grateful whether things are going good in this moment or bad in this moment.
Yeah.
Being grateful for it all and not struggling against the universe, but rather just being present in it. And I think that's a major, major key to success. And I think that when you are grateful for the little wins, the universe has a way of rewarding you with bigger things.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you do complain a lot, or you're, oh, well, why can't this happen? You seem to attract more of that into your life.
100%. I agree with that. And I think it's, to me, gratitude is like, if there's a magic that exists in the universe, gratitude is the magic. When you're grateful, when you say thankful, and not just when you say thank you, but when you mean it and you feel it, and it's like you're actually grateful for the opportunities.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? And I think that allows what you said to open the door for more of that. But
Of
when
course.
you're negative, you open the door for more negativity. It's just like, a little example would be like when your body craves sugar. The more sugar you eat, the more you're going to crave sugar.
Yep.
When you eat healthy food, you'll start to crave healthier foods. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
it's the good and the bad. There's good and there's bad. The more you give into it, there's a quote. I don't know who made the quote, but it's the chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken.
Damn.
So, and that's the same for us on our journeys. To me, I think it's like when you're on your journey to success, is you kind of get a habit of success to where like you do the thing, You forego the immediate gratification, then you get the success, and then it's the same. It's a loop, but it's a positive loop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you're depressed or you don't want to go to the gym, it keeps you not wanting to go to the gym. Like, oh, no one wants to be around me, or I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to see people. But you lift yourself up and you go to the gym. Then the next day you're like, I feel so, or even when you leave the gym, you're like, I feel so good. I'm about to go to the gym again tomorrow.
Yeah, this reminds me of a quote I once heard, and it's one of the, I think, realest ones that I've heard. It says, anything that brings short-term pleasure causes long-term pain,
Yeah.
and anything that causes short-term pain brings long-term pleasure.
Fucking right.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
real
it's
shit.
like, in a way of, say it's getting loaded, drinking a 40. That's short-term pleasure, but that's going to be long-term pain. You're going to be depressed.
Mhm.
You're going to be, but say something like the gym, you go, that's short-term pain, but when the muscles heal, it's long-term
Long-term
pleasure.
growth,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's
And
like,
I think that's probably what we could finish what you were saying.
no,
sorry?
I just think like forcing yourself to do hard things and making yourself uncomfortable is how you grow.
100%.
You know?
These little small quotes that we're saying, they're crucial to put into your memory bank because they add value and good reminders. So like what you were just saying, it reminded me of a quote from Les Brown, and it's like, if you do what's easy all the time, life becomes hard. But if you do what's hard, life becomes easy.
Yeah.
And
it's
that
true.
little simple thing is like, when you think about, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today, I got to go do it. Oh, I don't want to do the stuff I don't want to do for my business, I got to do it anyway. And then that's what's going to get you to the next level.
Yeah. Man, I think that's why, a lot of people put themselves in uncomfortable positions, such as like even a cold shower to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you don't want to do that. But then if you get through that, it sets the tone off of your day of like, okay, I got through that. So
Yeah.
now everything else that's difficult isn't going to feel really
100%,
that hard anymore because you're like, damn, I did that.
The
so
little
it just
wins.
sets up that. Yeah, man.
So let's talk about, because you touched on the alcohol just in one of them quotes, and it's one of the things that kind of I've been struggling with in terms of not like abuse, but like in terms of like I kind of despise alcohol. To me,
Yeah.
like everyone does it, and it's a big thing in community. It brings people together and all that stuff. But then it also ruins communities. It ruins families. It ruins and a lot of people, they get on the hamster wheel of like, oh, I need a drink every weekend, or I need a drink when I get off work. It's like they reward themselves with like a beer after work, and it's like I find, and I'm not 100% correct on everything I'm saying, but like people feel like that's a reward. Like I just went to work all day. I deserve this liquor, or I deserve this, but then it's like it's so detrimental to your health and your long-term longevity. So like maybe we could touch on that, because me and you had
I was on the
unlimited
hamster
talks.
wheel for years, my whole life. And I think that we were all tricked into believing that we need it. And I think it's even worse where we're from in Nova Scotia. It's so ingrained and celebrated in the culture in Nova Scotia. It just became so habitual. It made me used to thinking that I needed it for things. So like I couldn't do a show unless I drank. I couldn't go on a date unless I had a couple drinks before. Oh, you got to loosen up, have some fun, be funny.
Yeah.
I couldn't have fun. I couldn't go out. I couldn't go to a party. There was so many things. I couldn't make music. I couldn't go to the studio. There was so many things that I convinced myself that was better with alcohol that for so many years, that now since I stopped 11 months almost, I'm realizing it was bullshit. It was all
That's
bullshit.
crazy. That's
It was
crazy.
a lie.
Yeah.
It was a lie. I've never felt better. I've never been more successful. I've never had the amount of fun I've been having. And to all the young fellas out there who think you need it for a date, never been more smooth in that aspect.
Yeah,
like, it's just like, bro,
You get better. Everything that you do, that when you're not drinking, you remember everything.
Yeah.
You're more coherent. You're less. You're not gonna have a hangover the next day.
Yeah.
All those things that like you go to the club, you go home with a girl, you wake up the next day, it's like, how did I even get that girl? Like or random stuff like that. Like what did I say?
It wasn't you.
Yes.
It wasn't you.
It's
It was
the
whatever
courage to
crutch
look-
or
yes.
courage you have. So now that's a great point, because now when I'm doing things, whether it's a show or accomplishing things or something uncomfortable, now it builds self-confidence, because I look back and be like, that was all me. There was no crutch. There was nothing to help my confidence. And that builds self-confidence because it shows like, oh, I can do this. So now it builds real confidence without
little
you having
wins
to go
and-
back to a
yes.
crutch. And also, man, I want to ask you this. Like, I know you still go out and stuff like that. I do too. I almost probably go out and shit more than I do when I was drinking. Like, and I'm not saying like clubbing and party. It's just I pop out to events, socialize more. But man, it's crazy going out sober. I know you probably felt it the first couple times when you're in these drunk conversations and you're seeing how people act and you're like, was this what I was like? And then, you know, I asked my friend that. I was like, was this what I was like? They're like, worse.
Yeah.
You were worse. And I was like, damn, like this is what we do. Like we're just repeating the same fucking conversation, like bumping into people, getting like all belligerent. And I'm just like, when you see it from a sober lens, you realize like how fucked up it is.
100%.
You know?
And not that we're here bashing
and no, I don't want to. I don't
it's good
in
moderation.
Yeah.
It's just I find it's overused in our culture, and it's like people look at it like it's not something wrong with it. And for me, like when I first stopped drinking 2019, like I haven't had a buzz on since 2019. Yeah. So I remember when I very first started, I had to build up the confidence to be able to tell the people no. Because it's like, you go to an event, it's like, oh, have a shot, have a drink. And then it's like, oh, come on, for manners, or for this or for that. It's like, you got to build up the no, like, I'm good, I don't drink. And then the people look at you like, oh, you a weirdo. Like, you don't drink? Like, what's wrong with you? Oh, what happens when you drink? Oh, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, what do you mean? I just don't want to drink.
That's how toxic it is in Nova Scotian culture, bro. It's like, someone like, no, I'm good, I don't want to drink. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Because
like,
it's a win. If they get you to drink, it's a win. Like if you say you're a drinker and you come out and we all drinking and you say, oh, I'm not drinking tonight. If we get you to drink, we won. And it feels good to be like, we convinced him to drink. But it's like, you know what I mean? But it's the same as if we convince you to pursue your dreams or pursue your goals. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are like scared to take on the next opportunity, or like this job offer came and it's like, bro, you should take it on, or you know what I mean? Like,
let's not make any mistake. Definitely not bashing anyone. And I definitely want to make it clear that I don't regret none of it.
No,
like I had so much fun and so many wild times, and I think that was all for a purpose, you know? But just at this position I'm in right now, as 36 years old, as someone who is not totally where he wants to be with his goals yet, like, this is the best choice for me right now.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest, it's fun as fuck.
It is fun. It is fun.
You know, but
so
it's
one of my brothers asked me, he's like, when I stopped drinking for a few years, he was like, how do you go out and like enjoy yourself with the people without drinking? And then, because initially it's hard because you're around all these belligerent people while they're drinking, or even when you're there, you're like, what am I supposed to do? You might be in your head. So it's a new practice because you're not familiar with how you're supposed to act, because before you were nursing a drink and the practice was, okay, get a little buzz on and enjoy, like, you know, get a little bit louder, da-da-da-da, build rapport. So like me and you, we go to eat all the time. Yeah. And some of the guys drink. So remember when I'm out there with you guys, I'm turning up just like you guys are turning up, because it's not the drinks that are turning me up, it's the building rapport with the people that you're around.
It's the energy.
Yes.
Man, I get like that too. The more buzzed up my friends get and shit like that, like, and especially if I'm drinking a non-alcoholic beer, it's like the energy with the placebo, like I feel like I'm buzzed up.
100%, bro. You party. So what he was asking me is like, how do you do it? And then my response was basically like, when you're there, enjoy, like the best way that I enjoy myself is to connect with the people that are there. Like get to know them. If I don't know someone at the party, or if I already caught up with all my buddies, it's like, who's the person that I don't know that much there? You know, ask them some questions, get to know them, and then naturally you'll build more rapport, and then the vibe just gets
a lot
higher.
of people, including myself, are naturally fearful of that. Like, you know, like I wasn't the person of like, I'm just gonna go up and ask questions to the person I don't know. And like, that wasn't in my nature. Yeah. And I think putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, which is being sober in itself, and then doing that type of shit, that's when you really, really grow. And that's when you actually build social skills. Like, I feel like since I quit drinking at this age, I've strengthened my social skills.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
Because there's no crutch. Yeah. It's like, I'm actually going from feeling uncomfortable to putting myself in this position to now starting to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yes, bro. Because what you touched on is you're building that real confidence. You're building that real skill. There's no crutches.
No.
So it's like
it's all you.
Yes,
and it's
bro.
like you feel yourself getting better and better and better and better, and that's what it is, man. It's like, and that's been a huge help for me. Like, a lot of people see me on the internet and these food reviews and these funny jokes and skits, and they're like, oh, like, he's not shy or whatever. But it's like, bro, I put a lot of work like into that. Like, I feel like I'm a naturally introverted person, like a shy person. And it's like, bro, I used to not even be able to be on camera without drinking.
Bro, amen to that. Because even for me with the Trevor's life lessons and all that, is like, you have to, because you want success, I want success.
Yeah.
We know that we have to get outside of ourselves. Like, we're not computer programmers. We're not people that sit behind the computer that can make us success. You know what I mean? So we need community. We need people to push us. We need to push ourselves, and we need to connect with people in order to be successful and be who we want to be and inspire other people.
Big time, bro. No, it's facts, man.
Because like when I think about like young youth that I work with, and like a lot of kids that had that isolation years of COVID, it's like they missed out on so much skill set. Like, like think about those kids that, like, I don't know if it was maybe 2 or 3 years of like they didn't get that high school experience. So now they're going to college, and it's like they got to learn all that stuff over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
let's be clear, man. A lot of life is who you know and your relationships. I think is probably the most valuable currency, more than money.
100%.
Straight up. And like, I think that a lot of people nowadays only think small term. So it's like, how can I milk this person, or how can I take advantage of this person and get ahead for the short term? Or, you know, and I feel like that's how it kind of this dog eat dog, how we think. You know,
like
just because of instant gratification on social media, and I just think the way it is. But like, man, the relationships I've had, like for years, 10, 20 years, like this network I've built, and by always being honorable and never doing anyone wrong, and just being an honest person and doing good business and being, you know, just a good-hearted person,
100%.
that has got me so much further.
It's like giving without expectation and stuff like that.
That's got me so much further than anything. And like, I never had to cut a corner or let me rip this person off or do this or that. It was always just being honorable.
Because some people don't believe in karma, and you got to reckon. Like me, I believe in karma, and it's like,
too.
If you rip somebody off, you're gonna pay for that somewhere else. You just don't
never
realize
get
it.
away with anything.
No.
You never get away with anything, man. And it's like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's like, even times, like, very rarely will I ever do something, especially if I'm sober, that goes against my morals or my integrity. You know,
it's funny that you say when you're sober.
Yeah, but like, if you're drinking, it might, you know,
bro, it's easy.
But I remember like going against my morals and my integrity, and then something bad coming around and happening to me, and me realizing like, that's what you get. That's what you deserve.
Yeah, bro.
And bro, I think
you learn your lesson, and some folks you don't never really learn the lesson on the journey.
No. What goes up must come down, man. Straight up.
So yeah, we touched on a lot of different things, mindset. Let's touch back onto your story. So you did your first you were doing mixtapes, then you did your first album. What was your first album called?
It was called The Myth. It was in 2010, and it ended up winning the album of the year in the Coast, which was like big at that time. And I remember it won over like some rock bands or something. Like, it might have been Winter Sleep and Joel Plaskett. Don't quote me, but it was like some shit like that. To where like this unknown rapper's first album shouldn't win this type of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember that moment, and I remember that was like, I was like, all right, it's on from here, you know? And that album, I got to work with some cool people. Like, I had Royce the 5'9" on that album. I had Shaw Claire on that album.
Oh shit! Like, so there's all these steps that got you to where you're at today. And you said you had Royce the 5'9" on the album. Just for like the young folks that might be listening, like, how do you get like your heroes and stuff like that onto your songs? Like, I know me and you talked about how the Be Real stuff happened, and you know what I mean? How did like the Royce the 5'9", maybe you could start off, because that was your first album.
I could start off. I always had a strategy, and it was just like reaching out and being honest, like brutally honest. So at that time, it was MySpace, and I remember messaging him, and I remember just being like, "You're one of my favorite rappers. Like, I look up to you. I'm working on my debut album. I don't know what you charge, but like, man, I've been working at the Halifax Forum bingo, like this bingo hall. I saved up $500. I don't know if that's insulting, but if you want to get on this album, you know, and you could do it for this amount, like that would be great. If not, like no problem." And he did it. Because I think people just appreciate
realness,
sincerity, and realness, you know? And it's like, and it's not like, how much do you charge? Like it was like, no, I'm coming at this from a genuine, real way, you know? And yeah, that's how that happened, man. And I ended up doing shows with him. And
that's crazy, because what you say, like some folks might just randomly message like 50 artists that they love and the same copy and paste the same thing, versus like a heartfelt thing that you can go back years later. What's that, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
And have a heartfelt story like this to be like, this is how I got one of my favorite artists on my album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then fast forward to the next album and the next album when you're getting, and because you're not nobody, because you're building, you built yourself up to a point, and then you're also offering them value in terms of, I'm a local artist from where I'm from, and I'm grinding, and I'm here to offer this to you. And then now you're on now they became on your album. And now it's like, looking back, it's like, because we'll touch on like all the other artists that you continue to connect with that more folks might know, but it's like, it's remarkable how just keeping it real can work for you.
It can. And it's the easiest thing to do, because you don't have to do anything. Just be real. Yes. But it's like, I don't know why, especially in this genre and just, you know, around the people that me and you are around and stuff like that, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's not always looked at as the coolest to
keep it real.
Yeah, to keep it real. Like,
it's like, let me put like a glasses on, or let me put, not glasses, let me put like a wall up. Because it's like a defense mechanism, because it's like, people want to look more than what they are, but when you try to look more than what you are, then the people can't see the true you, and then they can't relate to you, so then they don't even really care.
No,
you know what
like,
I'm saying?
I don't know what it is in this in hip hop, but like I feel like everyone thinks they have to be like some superhero. Like, yeah, I just killed 10 people, I had sex with 20 girls. That's fucking like, it's like, that's not me. You know, like I don't know. I'm not always gonna be the coolest, most talented, most rich, or whatever guy, but I'm just me. And I feel like no one else is me. Everyone else is taken. So I'm just trying to be the best me I can be.
100%, bro. So then fast forward, so you did your first album. How many albums have you had so far?
Shit, like 9 or 10. I lost count, man.
So with that album, when was the time when you felt like, okay, I'm successful? Or like maybe just describe what success is to you, and then maybe give me an example of when you felt like you were there.
That's a deep question, man. I don't know if it's any like one moment. Like, I think it's just like an ongoing journey. And again, I think success is what you deem it to be, and what I deem it to be is like, man, I'm touching people around the world. Like, there's people that write me and say that my music has helped them through things and shaped them and made them a better person. And, you know, I haven't worked in 11 years. I haven't showed up to a job to work. Like, to me, that's success. Like, damn, I get to wake up.
Respect, bro. Respect.
I get to wake up every day and do what I want. On Monday, I don't have to go to work. Like, I wake up, go downstairs, smile, hit the vape, turn on a beat. Like, that's my life. Like, damn, that's success to me. But
so don't get him wrong. Sorry.
But also there is like longer term goals. Like, you know, one of the goals I have is like, yes, I want to buy a home off of music. Yes, I want to have a family life and stuff like this. There's definitely things I want in the future. But I think like every day you're alive even and doing what you love to do is successful, because like you said, we've we've seen people, we've woken up and friends are gone tomorrow.
Yeah,
And it's like,
100%.
so every time you're here, you have another chance. And if you're here and not having to report to someone else's dream at a job or building someone else's dream, and you're just doing what you're doing
Yeah.
and building your dream, even if that is living in your mom's basement,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that is success.
I feel like that
I'm
transparency allows.
happy. Happiness is success, bro.
Yes.
At the end of the day, happiness is success. Because I know a lot of rich ass people who are miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some broke people who have an attitude that's positive and are happy as hell.
Yeah, 100%. So he's touched on that he doesn't have to work, but he has to work every day. It's just not working a job that he's not wanting to do. He's working his dream
Towards
every
my
day.
own goal,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like he gets to work and become, he's a rapper every day. So he gets to wake up and work on his goals, work at doing something he loves, and it doesn't feel like work. So for me to like iterate from my own understanding and what I do is success to me is creating. As long as I can create, I'm happy. I don't have to have no money. I don't have to have nothing. As long as I can continue to create, that's what success is to me. And to me, it's because I still work 2 other jobs while I build Trev Clothing. And it's, to me, I wouldn't have been able to build Trev Clothing as much as I have it now without having the jobs. The jobs keep me in community. I do community service work. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me understanding what's going on in community. I learn more every day.
Of course.
It's sometimes hard work, but it adds so much value to my creative process. And then the other beauty of that is it doesn't feel like work. When I'm creating for Trev Clothing, it's not work.
No,
it's similar to you. Like that's why me and you are on the same Wi-Fi a lot, because being a creative and being able to live and do and love what you do, I feel like that's the beauty of life. Whatever it is, like if you're an accountant or you're a lawyer or you're a podcaster or whatever you do, if you love it and it doesn't feel like work, to me, that's what the purpose is.
And let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with working part-time or having part-time hustles to fund your dream.
No, 100%, bro.
Dream,
I just literally told you guys, if I did not work, I would not be able to be where I'm at today. I still got to work tomorrow. I don't even know when I'll be able to just do Trev Clothing full time. Maybe this podcast will be my big thing.
We're going to go viral.
I'm trying to turn, I'm silver right now, guys. I'm trying to go gold.
But what you said to touch on just creating, like, man, isn't that such a beautiful thing?
Yes.
You wake up in the morning and there's something that doesn't exist, and then you create it, whether it's a song, a piece of clothing, a design, and now someone a week later is either wearing that clothing in Europe or listening to that song in Japan. Or like, isn't that a beautiful thing? Like something that didn't exist. It was thin air, and now it's here because you put it here, and now other people are enjoying it. Like, to me, that's priceless.
100% it is priceless, because when I think about, you literally take something from nothing and make it something. Like, for me, like, I attribute, like, the Trev logo and everything that I've accomplished with Trev from, like, God. Like, I don't know if you're religious or whatever it is. But I kind of attribute it to that. Or not kind of, I do attribute it to that. But it's like, who really knows where it comes from? But to me, like something from nothing. Like you creating something literally from nothing. When you make a song, when I make a design, when I made the logo, it's like now the logo, the Trev logo has meaning. Like it means something to people when they see it as trust, respect, education, value. My intentions were to create this, obviously, so that it would be a big brand and it would inspire. But now it's something that inspires people to remember to trust yourself, respect yourself, educate yourself, value yourself. And to me, those are the building blocks of what a successful life looks like.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. And it's like, man, I don't know if this sounds crazy, but sometimes I believe that the world works this way, that I feel like ideas are not from your brain. Like you touched on, like, is it from God? But I kind of feel like, to paint a picture of it, like, I kind of feel like ideas just float over the sky and somehow people like pull them down, or it goes to you at the right time. Because like, there's been so many times where I've said the same thing or whatever, like at the same time as someone else. Like, whether it's a punchline or you know, songs I've sat on too long and I put it out 2 years later and it doesn't hit the same as it did if I make it in that moment and put it out in that moment. And I don't know what that is. Like, I I don't claim to have it figured out, but sometimes I feel like ideas are floating over the sky or something at a certain time, like for everyone to
I
grab.
think what you're touching on is being a creative and being experienced in it and doing it for a living. You're always continuously creating. So as you get better, because you're like you iterate or you change or you like, there's so many songs you got in your back pocket.
Yeah.
There's so many designs I got in my back pocket.
Yeah.
There's times when like, oh, we had it and we should have released it at this time,
Yeah.
but it's too late now, and our body knows that's not the time to release it. Like we might not ever be able to release it because it doesn't feel right.
Or you could take an element from it and maybe use it as, I've done that so many times.
Because you
where it's
evolved something else.
Something that wasn't ready in the moment. And now I'm making a new song like 2 years later. And I'm like, oh, remember when I said that?
Mhm.
This would fit right here now. And even if it's just that one line, it's still part of your
And then
arsenal.
if you're being a creative for a living, if you're continuously creating, then it's a lot of creating is like throwing paint at the wall. But then you also have your team of mentors or people that you go to and you show them like I might send a picture, or you might send a beat, or you might send a hook, and it's like, oh, what do you think about this? And you'll get the feedbacks. To me, like I give so much oat to like show, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Not to be like, I know what I like, but I need to see what society is going to be receptive to, because as a business, as a creative, I got to create for myself, but I also got to create for people and give them what they need too.
Do you ever get discouraged when you spend a lot of time on an idea and it's not the one? Like I used to feel that. Like I used to get so discouraged, like, damn, I was just sitting at my computer for 16 hours in this song. The next day, it's like you one of your friends might be like, that ain't it, or whatever. But now I'm realizing that none of it is a waste, because it's all a part of your process, and you're sharpening your skills. And now I almost look at it like baseball. Like the best hitter bats like 3-something, which means every 3 out of 10 times he gets a hit. Damn. And that's the best player.
Yeah.
I think maybe the most anyone's ever got to is 400 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the best you can do is 4 hits out of 10 times. Yeah. And like when you start looking at it like that, it's like, damn, that's a grind. And I think it relates to being creative, because like there's definitely a lot more ideas that I start that don't end up being the one than the ones that are the one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think you got to go through what's not the one to get to the one.
100%.
You can't just automatically have the one every time.
Yeah, it's just like when one person gets with one girl and they think that's the girl for the rest of their life. It's like, go out there and experience, brother. But to go back to, because you touched on you haven't drank in 11 months. I heard your new album, and that's something I wanted to mention in the beginning. Phantom. I listened to it. I listened to a lot of your music, and it's like you're no different. You like the non-drinking, it doesn't affect your music.
No.
You're still able to have the subject matter in the music. I'm just like, how is this man making this dark music and making this music about stuff that people can relate to? And you're like, obviously, well, you're not participating in drinking right now, but you're able to make music that people can relate and understand. Like, how do you feel this album is different from other albums based on the mindset you're in now?
I think the number one thing with the mindset I'm in right now is just clearer thinking and more productivity. Like I just put out an album, but now I already got another out. Like it's just like, I don't know, things are coming together so much quicker, and I'm able to, like you said, I'm able to now easily, put myself in different parts of my life. Like it's like my memory is better. So it's like you say, I'm not drinking now, but if I want to touch on rock bottom, like I can take myself there easier now than before. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just like my brain is firing at just a better speed and at a better rate, and my memories and everything's more vivid, and I'm able to pull from different eras of my life a lot easier and smoother than I was before.
Yeah, because that album is pretty dark.
Yeah, it's the Phantom, man.
Is there anything that you want to maybe tell the audience or talk about and touch on when it comes to like breaking this album down?
Yeah, first of all, it's produced by Street Runner, I've wanted to do a project with since I was a teenager. He is incredible. He's, multiple Grammys, multi-platinum. The guy produced for everyone, Jay-Z,
Damn.
Lil Wayne, Two Chains, whoever you want to name.
So he produced this whole album. Where's he based out of?
He did the whole album. He's from Miami and he's in Atlanta right now.
Okay, sick.
So that's a producer I always looked at since a kid, and where I felt his sound fit my sound at its core, because it's very cinematic, it's very triumphant, it's very underdog-esque, if that makes sense. It's very passionate, it's emotional. And when I got the opportunity to work with him, man, I just put everything into it, like my life depended on it, like trying different flows I never usually do, or trying different things and just trying to rap my ass off to the best of my ability. And man, I'm excited for it, because I feel like it's been a long time since there's been this type of passion and hunger in my voice, even. Like, it's not that laid back Quake.
It's not the summertime.
It's that back against the wall, black hoodie up, fucking give me what's owed to me type of Quake. So I'm excited for it.
So did he come up with all the beats, or did you? So he picked all the beats, all the samples and stuff like that?
No, yeah. Well, what happens is he'll just like send me folders of beats, and I go through them. And usually, what I do is I don't say I'm interested in buying a beat until the song is done, because that's happened before, where I'll hear a beat, I'll be like, yeah, buy it right then and there. Then I can never make a song to it.
Yeah.
So now what I do is when people send me beats, I'll make songs. And sometimes the song doesn't turn out, sometimes it does. But once I have a song, I'm like, okay, this is something. Yeah. Then I'll be like, yeah, I want this beat.
Did it ever happen where you made a song to a beat and then you didn't buy it and it was sold already? Or
yeah.
Is it painful, or do you just find something else that can work with it?
I just get it redone. But like, I remember, shout out to my best friend Jacob. I remember, what song was it I had? Last One Left, who I got classified to reproduce it, like a new beat. But I remember doing that and then hitting him up, and then it was the one on Travis Scott's album that like won the
oh shit,
yeah, that like won
like the Falls, the Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was just like the one sound, the beat. They switched the beat up from what my version was.
Yeah,
but it was like that main sound in it. And yeah, that was one of the ones I slept crazy. On.
You slept on my best friend Jacob's beat. But that's tough. So like you're really in the industry, you're really building, you're really creating. When's this new album come out?
December 18th.
December 18th. So what are some of the subject matters? Because obviously, like I listened to the album, you sent it to me early. What's some of the themes that you touched on the album?
Man, I touched on motivation, hunger, passion, mental health, and loss too,
So maybe dive in on the loss, like talk about some of the lost stuff, because you talked earlier about Littles. And what was the other fellow you said when you were younger you looked up to?
Shane.
Short Shane,
yeah. Obviously we lost Pat tragically, who's one of my best friends, and that changed my life forever. Like it'll never be the same again. But I'm navigating that, and I'm using that as sort of like motivation or comfort, because he was always the guy that motivated me or took me out of these lapses I would be in when I felt like giving up. He was the first guy to call and be like, man, you know how special you are, like keep going. And now I kind of feel this comfort on like, I have an angel watching over me who's looking out for me. And it's like, I owe it to him to be the best version of myself and carry on this tradition and reach the highest potential I could reach for both of us, especially now that his journey was cut short. And us being, two prominent people in the city doing this thing. And it's like, I kind of feel like I owe it to him and myself in a way. So that's definitely a way that grief or that tragedy, there was a silver lining in it somewhere,
I like how you used it as motivation. And because I know both of you guys are like two peas in a pod. He was a light to the city, and he inspired me. He inspired everybody.
Yep.
Something changed in you when he passed.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not like it. you're not as timid. You're more outgoing. You're more like something changed. And I feel like from the conversation that we've had, it's like now he's your angel like you just described, but he's on your back telling you to do the fucking shit that you got to do.
Yeah.
And you're doing the shit.
Even someone like me and Pat used to talk on the phone like every single day for like 15 years because we didn't have jobs. So like everyone
we do what we love, guys.
Everyone else was at work, and it was just like me and him would just start every day with just talking shit, laughing, joking, and like a lot of the shit now you're seeing me put online, whether it's the food reviews or this type of personality, or look, this is the way we talk to each other every day. So it's just like people never got to see that before. And that's why a lot of people, I think, when they see me acting like that, they're like, oh, it reminds me of Pat. It's like, this is the way we spoke to each other every day. Like, this was the humor. And I think that me putting it out there into my work or my videos or my content or incorporating it more into my life is kind of my way of keeping him around more. And I feel like whether that choice was like a conscious one, I don't even know if it was. I think it was just a subconscious choice, or whether that was my way of dealing with the grief or my way of transitioning into this new life without him. Like, I don't know. But it seems like a lot did change in me when he passed away. And I think a lot of it was subconscious. A lot of it maybe was responsibility too, of like, we lost a main guy in the city, like, who's putting on for us or showing these kids that it's possible. And I feel like maybe there was more pressure on me, or not pressure, but like, okay, like I gotta be the best I can be now. Cause it's like, we just lost a guy.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. I think you said a little bit ago is like responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like
more responsibility. Yeah, for sure. And like, I don't know, I think that's part of the reason why I chose to get sober, and like, I don't know. And it's like another big, I don't know, man. It's hard for me.
Because me and you and him been talking about sobriety for years. Like that was kind of like one of our, every time we would link up or chat is always kind of a thing of discussion, because we were all dealing with certain stuff, and we see our community dealing with certain stuff. And for you to go through that experience, become sober, it's like you have him telling you, like, you got to do this. You got this responsibility now. He got a son that you kind of got to be that good role model for. Because that's similar from my circumstances, is when my best friend passed. We were 20, 21, and he was just having a son. His son wasn't even born yet, and he's my godson. So then it's like, so now what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go get revenge and be mad and be, still wanting to be in the streets? Or no, me doing that, his son ain't gonna have no chance.
No.
If I go and become the best version of myself so that his son can have another black male role model to look up to, then I used that and I took that as fuel to be the best I can be for not just me, but for everybody. Because now there's other kids in community that I mentor, and I feel like I get to, like, he's 14 now. I got to raise him, but I didn't have to do all the hard work. I got to be there for him. I got to, you know what I mean, have that responsibility of a godfather and a father figure. But now I feel like I'm getting to be able to repeat that within community, with the other young kids, with the kids that are 5 and 6 are grown up now. I get to be that mentor for them and put them on to, like, reading books, put them on to advice, put them on to chasing their dreams, asking them what they want to be. When you wait till a kid's 18, 19 to ask them what they want to be, it's hard for them to think about, like, it's kind of too late. But if you're trying to instill while they're younger so that they can grow up and be all that they can be.
For sure. I think what you said there is a major key that I just want to point out in life, where you said, you know, you weren't trying to seek revenge or hold this anger, or you would
trust me, at first I was ready to throw it all away, but it's a process of grief, and it's a process of not having excuses, and it's having a bigger reason. Like him having a son that he left was the reason that I'm probably here today. Because all the decisions I made were for the betterment of him, and being when he looks up to me, I'm being the best person I can be. And without that, I don't think there would have been.
I think that's what I've realized with losing Pat too, that I've realized, like, no amount of anger I feel is bringing him back. And the anger if I do allow myself to feel angry or whatever the case may be, that's only affecting me, and that's only affecting me from being the best version of myself I can be to make him proud. So it's like, it's kind of weird, like, because like I think if you just, I don't know, they say it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get karma. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't really work out. So that's why I think I kind of took your path. It's like I'm not here angry or like talking about it in that type of way.
Yeah.
I'm more so putting that energy into doing something positive with my life and trying to make him proud.
There's no real value in being angry or wanting revenge and all that stuff. Okay, cool if revenge happens or whatever, but to me, I feel like the revenge is being successful. The revenge is raising a son or raising kids and raising a community with peace and love in their heart. So that not to be like I'm a pushover or I'm gonna let someone do something to me or whatever, or if the instance comes where I can get back, I might get it, but I'm not living with the ability of like, oh, I want to get revenge. I want peace and love. I want to raise my kids right. I want them to make better decisions. And if I make a dumb decision, because to me, getting revenge is a dumb decision.
Yeah.
It's not a positive one. It's like an eye for an eye, everybody goes blind. Why would I participate in the same thing that's destroying my community?
Yeah.
Like if the people can't come together and decide like, okay, this is what I want or this is what I'm going to do, like peace is when like, there's a thing where, like if you lift a hot pot up, it's going to burn you. If you drop it, it ain't going to burn you. For me, I'm not getting burned, so I'm not hanging on to the pain. I'm letting the pain go, and I'm moving forward. So when it comes to forgiveness is not for the person. I could care less if the person dies tomorrow. If I could care less if the person getting tortured or whatever the person goes through. That person could go through whatever. But for me, forgiveness is for me. Forgiveness ain't for that person. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've come to realize that somebody else's karma is not my responsibility. It's God's responsibility. So it's like, I feel like if even things aside this, if you like, even in relationships where it's like, you feel like someone did you dirty or whatever, and it's like, you want to get them back so bad. Like, this is just something I just went through where in a relationship. And I'm just like, I brought it back to, you know what? Someone else's karma is not my responsibility. Like, this is only hurting me more thinking about, you know, getting someone back or getting even, or it's like, I think that's just ego. Like, that's something I'm trying to let go of in all aspects. Like I said, relationship or and on the other aspect of what we were talking about is like, bro, I'm not a street guy. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm here for peace, positivity, here to inspire and push myself to the highest version of myself I can be. And that doesn't come with anger and riffraff and negativity. It doesn't.
100%, because that's the other thing is like a lot of the things that other folks may do is because the expectations of everyone else around them. So it's like they might not want to do something, but then they're pressured to do something. Like you think about their peers, like a group of people is like, oh, if you don't get back, then you can't hang with us no more. Then it's like, maybe I shouldn't be hanging with you anyway. So that if I gotta kill somebody in order to hang with you guys, then maybe I should be doing something else with my life. You know?
I mean, bro, it's tough. And it's just like, I feel like that's how a lot of, even to relate it to my world, like rap feuds and shit starting in back in the day. It's like, it's not even the two people. It's somebody's friend being like, oh, you just heard that? He dissed you on this, or it's about you. And it's not even about you, but it's like, oh, I think he's talking about you here. You better diss him more. And then you start getting mad when it's at something that's not even reality. And it's just, that's why, man, you got to watch who.
And it's
who you
not
keep
even
around
for
you.
me to be like, it's not for us to be like kumbaya. We want to be peaceful with everybody. It's just more so like not letting that stuff affect you internally. Find the forgiveness because it gives you more peace and allows you to move lighter and fly higher.
Of course.
I learned a lot from giving forgiveness, from letting stuff go. I feel like I was able to teach forgiveness. I was able to let other people that were experiencing the same grief that I was experiencing to let it go, to not like let it eat them up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but then it's also on the other coin of it is like, when I think about all my friends that passed, is like, some of them, they put themselves in stupid positions. And it's like, if you didn't put yourself in that position, you wouldn't have been there. That stuff wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't be dealing with the grief. But we can't like go back in time or whatever. But the one thing that I could probably say, or that how I feel in terms of like dealing with the grief is, like you were saying, he's your angel. Like my homeboys and my family and my loved ones that passed, I believe that when people pass away, they become all-knowing.
Yeah.
And then they become
believe that
my
too.
angel and my guidance. So now in my brain, I think about them and what they would do. And my friends say to me, don't get revenge. I
Yeah.
got a son that you got to be here for.
Yeah.
And it could be all my whoever else, but that's just the main guy that I always think to. Like, rest in peace, Stacey.
I still ask Pat for advice, and I can
Yeah.
hear him.
And then there's conversations that I'll have with his son, or certain things that we'll have to talk about, and I'll talk to him before I talk to him, and I'm just like, what would you say, or what do you think I should say? And then I try to let that embody what I'm trying to say. So
Yep.
it allows me to like either give the best advice, or it allows me to like get more connected with like God, or like whatever it
Yep.
is. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because I know that we're all ignorant people, like humans.
Yep.
So like what we think is right, like if it's revenge, or if it's whatever decision we try to make, we don't know the right answer. But
No.
like wherever we go when we gone, I believe that we become all knowing. We know the right from wrong. We know if this person lied to us back at this time.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is being the best versions of ourselves, leaving a legacy, and I guess touching on like how can we, like the responsibility that we have to these to our best friends that passed, how do we like honor that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's by becoming the best version of yourself, staying out of negativity, and being, again, the best you can be. I think that's what's going to make them the most proud.
Yeah, because I don't want to get to heaven or wherever we go and be like, let him down, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want to be like that. Or like even Pat is like, I talk to Pat too. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? What would Pat do?
Yeah.
And those are the things that like, that you're able to embody their energy, but they're also able to advise you and give you advice because you remember all the advice and all the message and all the things that they said when they were here. So you take that, you multiply it, and now they know everything.
Yeah.
So now they're able to guide us and put us in the right direction. So they're not saying do stupid stuff, bro.
No.
Like, cause they wouldn't be here saying do stupid stuff.
Zero.
So it's like
0% chance.
But yeah, that's so maybe like let's touch on legacy a little bit in terms of for you, because I mean, we might have a part 2 in the future. We'll bring you back.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I feel like there's a lot more to your career than meets the eye. But what do you want your legacy to be?
Man, I just want to be known as somebody who had integrity, who had morals, who was passionate, who believed in himself, and biggest of all, who never gave up. And that's what I want to be. And the rest, as far as like accolades, that's up to the people to decide whether, you know, I know there's people out there that I'm their favorite rapper or whatever. That's for them to decide, you know, it's not going to be everyone's always, or if you're legend this or legend that. I think I just want to be known for those things I said.
That's some real shit. Well, you're a legend here in the hip hop industry. You've been doing it for what, 20 years?
It's something like that.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
And
shit.
it's crazy. It feels like
Man.
I'm just getting started, man. I feel like a new person right now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
bro,
feel
that's
like,
sick.
man, and the best is yet to come for sure.
Oh yeah, I believe that, and it goes back to what you were saying about consistency. And for anyone that's listening, is you stay consistent, things only get better for you as you iterate and as you get better. Like, mind you, there is some artists or some people out there that they don't try to get better, so they just plateau. But if you're hungry and you want to become better, every step along the way is going to get better. You're going to have dips, peaks and valleys, but
Yeah.
I find it's a continuous uphill thing, or like it'll continue to go up, and you've been continuously going up. And
Yeah.
from our conversations, I've seen where you are now. So
Mhm.
it's like, it's not the algorithms, it's not the money, it's who I am, and it's
Consistency, man.
looking at myself.
Consistency, man. And it's I feel like I'm slowly becoming the best version of myself. And it's just like,
And it's a never-ending thing.
no, it's never ending. There's always work to be done. But fuck, at least since I quit drinking, I'm getting ready slim. Getting ready slim and handsome again.
There we go. There we
You
go.
know?
There was a song on there, or there's a line on there you talked about. You got jacked for your sneakers.
Yeah. So that was a story in PEI. I think we went, it was after after graduating grade 12 or something, we went and we all had these like fake IDs and we were camping and we had a campground. And I remember we all had these fake IDs, so we're like, let's go to the street where the bars are on, we'll try to get in the bars. And I remember just being loaded. And some girl said something to me, and I said something back to her, like not thinking anything of it, like, go fuck yourself, whatever it was, you know? And then all of a sudden it was like 6 guys, like just beating me up, bro. And I'm drunk. I don't know where the fists are coming from, just getting me.
Oh,
and then I remember like getting up, being like, fuck, my shoes are gone.
That's crazy.
I was like,
That's
oh
crazy.
shit. But yeah, that's what inspired that
line.
story.
Yeah. I gotta listen to the album more, but there's a lot of lines and there's a lot of things in there that you touch on, and I think the audience should check it out because there's a lot of vivid storytelling in there.
Yeah.
You got a few features on there. Who's
I just got
features?
got Young Buck on
Young
there.
Buck, dope.
Yeah.
So it's basically a Quake album with a Young Buck feature.
That's it.
And I think those are the best albums for people to get to know you more. And and you do touch on some of your history in there too.
No, for sure. And man, Buck did his thing. He always does. Every time we team up, man, it's crazy the way it comes out. It feels like we I don't know, we sharpen each other's sword or something, man. And it's like he always brings like that unfiltered emotion. And I don't know if it's the concepts I choose or if it's what I'm talking about on my verses, but it always just seems to work out that way. Like every time we connect, it ends up being special. So shout out to him, man.
Shout out to Buck.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Before we close, there's a couple more segments I want to get to. 2 more questions.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is the biggest thing for your career that has ever happened for you?
The biggest thing that ever happened, like a moment?
Yeah, moment or like a time or like a month or something that happened.
I mean, there's a few moments, but I want to like preface this by saying one moment doesn't change everything, because it's like I don't want people to think that it's a collection of all the moments together. Yes. But like there was some cool moments that happened, like. I'm on Ice Cube's album with a song with me, him, and Scarface. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like,
literally, I would lead into to get to that so that it touches on the audience. Scarface, one of my favorite rappers listening to growing up. For to see you on that album and for you to be like one of the only feature artists on the album is like, bro, Ice Cube album. This man's on Ice Cube's album, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my brother messaged me this is 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. He's like, man, Quake's on Ice Cube's album with Scarface feature. I was like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, I didn't even believe that was real. But yeah, whenever moments like that happen, like, bro, it's crazy. Like, to me, I don't even know. That's what makes me think like, oh, Pat's up there. You know what I mean? Like,
hooking you up,
like,
bro.
how is that? I don't even know how
that.
that's possible. But there's always moments, man, that happen. Like me being on Sway, rapping on Sway. Like, I always wanted to rap for Sway, like since I was a kid. Like, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes,
and there's I don't know, there's always moments, man, when you get to when one of your heroes knows who you are, or just little shit like that.
This is why I wanted to touch on this stuff, because people got to know your career and the things that you've done. And from knowing from the beginning of this conversation till now, it's like it's accumulation. It's not something that happens overnight. It comes from
there's no one big break, because the faster you go up, the faster you fall down. So if you're going up slow, don't be mad at that, because that just means you have a strong foundation. Like, picture if they built a skyscraper building overnight, that shit would collapse.
Yes.
But imagine if they took the time to lay one brick at a time. That shit might take 10 years or however long. It's going to take long as hell to build. But once you build it up there, that shit is not collapsing.
And then it goes back to what you said earlier on, that if you stop, it stops.
Yep.
Let's say you got a plan to build a building, and the building is me becoming the biggest fashion designer, you becoming the biggest rapper. We have that intention and we go and execute on it, but then we stop building halfway.
You stop putting bricks on it, no one else is going to build it.
Yeah.
It's done.
And it's not going to happen overnight. The money's not going to follow the sky. The career's not going to follow the sky. The skill's not going to follow the sky. It's continuous work, continuous effort. So with this said, we're going to wrap it up. And there's a question that I got for you is, I got a gift for you, actually.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if I told you about it, but so this is a silver ounce.
Okay.
The ounce of silver. So what I want you to do is tell me what turning silver into gold means to you. So I'm going to give you this silver, and eventually you'll turn it into gold.
Okay, you're the man, bro. I appreciate that. So this is it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. Damn.
So it's pure silver.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Thank you. Damn, turning silver into gold. What does that mean to me, man, I think it just means showing up for yourself every day, man. Showing up for yourself and knowing that you gave it everything in you. Knowing that you can sleep at night to where if it does fail or if something does go wrong, you know you gave it your all. And I think that's all we can control, because turning silver into gold could be like, well, I started here and now I want to get here. But what if that place I'm trying to get or wherever was not supposed to be a part of my journey? So I'm just trying to think of the way I can actually be responsible for it. And that only thing I know is showing up for myself every day. And when I go to lay my head down at night is knowing that I gave my absolute best I could possibly do. And then I have no regrets from that point on.
Boom, respect. So there you have it. You had my good friend Quake Matthews on here for turning silver into gold.
Yes, sir.
And
Next time you see me, that's gonna be gold, baby.
And there you go. So this is the very first episode, the pilot episode, and I'm still trying to turn silver into gold. So let's see where we could take this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, tune into wherever podcasts are available. And if you'd like to sponsor, hit us up.